A hot topic amongst the general public has been what is or isn't considered a sport. If a game such as chess or checkers could be considered sports, then can arcade games be considered a sport? Arcades have a variety of different games, from games you play to win tickets, to redemption games like a claw machine or road trip, or even the more competitive games like air hockey, basketball, or the boxer. Competition is seen all around the arcade landscape. Today we're here at Joystick Arcades to find out a pressing question. Should competitive arcade game playing be considered a sport? We'll ask owner Will Leinert and more.
Hi, my name is Will Leinert. I'm 23 years old and I own arcade games.
So Will, obviously you have a lot of different types of arcade games here. What would you say is your most successful type of arcade game?
I can say from my experience of owning arcades, the best games that can generate the most revenue are competition games that are very active based.
Leinert has a lot of experience in arcades and how to best run them. Since opening his very first back in 2014, he has since changed his business model, rebranded to Joystick, and has adapted to the changing times. But of course, next, the question everyone wants to know the answer to. Do you think competitive arcade game playing could be considered a sport?
I do believe it's a sport. To some context, yes. You need somewhat of a skill set and you need to be able to win. And that's, with arcade games, that's exactly what goes on in the arcade. Usually a game requires some type of skill to be beaten or won from, and you always win or lose when you walk away from a game.
Next, we'll dive into if competitive arcade game playing can be considered a sport from a bit of a different perspective. We'll talk to Daniel Shibata, a longtime professional arcade game player with over 15 years of experience within the industry. Daniel, do you believe that arcade games are a way to possibly measure competition of sorts?
There's a game called Pump It Up, and this game is just like Dance Games Revolution. You basically dance on a board, and it has four sides and a middle button. And Pump It Up has international competition, so they have it in Korea, in Japan, in China, in the US.
Lastly, Daniel, based off of these competitions that they are holding worldwide for Pump It Up, do you believe that there is potential for other arcade games to possibly have their own worldwide competitions in the future?
I feel like there should be different categories, basketball, air hockey, skee ball. There should just be different categories and you can just separate them.
So there you have it. You've heard from Will, an owner of several arcades, and you've heard from Daniel, a longtime professional arcade game player. Now you be the judge. Are competitive arcade games considered a sport? For Cronkite Sports, I'm Zach Mott.